Hello. He's talking about releasing negative emotions like fear, stress, anger, and sadness. At first, negative emotions and feelings are a natural mechanism of our body, mind, and spirit because the brain responds to feeling unsafe. So you could say that negative emotions like fear and anger are our brain's way of defending itself. But because of social conditioning in our society, we often suppress and hold in our negative feelings. Treatment from our surroundings, traumatic events, and sad experiences also make us repress a lot of negative emotions, often without realizing it. These negative emotions keep piling up and get buried in our subconscious. The suppressed energy builds up and seeks expression through physical ailments, emotional disturbances, and chaotic behavior in interpersonal relationships. These accumulated feelings block spiritual growth, awareness, and success in many areas of life. These pent-up emotions also keep seeking outward projections to be felt. We often say, "He made me angry," or "That made me upset." It's so scary, but what's really happening is the opposite. The suppressed and repressed feelings look for a way out, using external events as triggers and reasons to let themselves out. Events and situations make us feel negative emotions because those feelings were already within us, and the mind creates external events to express and divert itself.
That's why angry people are surrounded by annoying situations, fearful people attract scary experiences, and proud people are constantly humiliated.
So our thoughts are driven by feelings, and most of us are unaware of this. So, how do we release these feelings? In his book Letting Go, Dr. David Hawkins explains that these feelings can be consciously released through a mechanism of letting go. Letting go involves being aware of a feeling, letting it come up, staying with it, facing it, and letting it go without wanting to change or do anything about it. This means simply allowing the feeling to be there and focusing on releasing the energy behind it. The first step is to let yourself have the feeling without resisting, expressing, fearing, condemning, or moralizing it. This means not judging it and seeing it as just a feeling. The technique is to be with the feeling and let go of any effort to modify it in any way. Let go of the desire to reject the feeling. Rejection is resistance, which keeps the feeling working.
A feeling that isn't resisted will disappear once the underlying energy evaporates. It's also important to ignore all negative thoughts. Focus on the feeling itself, not on the endless thoughts that can reinforce and multiply it. Thoughts are just the mind's rationalization trying to explain the presence of the feeling.
Sometimes we let go of a feeling, but it comes back and works as usual. This is because there's still more to let go of. We've been feeding these feelings our whole lives, and there's a lot of suppressed energy that needs to come up and be acknowledged. When surrender happens, lighter, happier feelings, almost like a floating sensation, occur. By continually letting go, you can stay in a state of freedom. Feelings come and go, and eventually, you realize you aren't your feelings but rather the true self that simply observes them. You stop identifying with your feelings. You observe and notice that what happens remains the same. As you become more aware, there's an unchanging witness inside you. By identifying with this level of awareness, you get closer to your true self and start to see that you were deceived by your feelings all along. You used to think you were a victim of your feelings, but now you see that was wrong. The feelings were just creations of the ego, a collector of programs that the mind mistakenly thought were necessary for survival. You might think this is very simple, just letting go and surrendering. Yes, it is that simple. This technique frees us from emotional attachments and proves the wise saying that attachment is the root cause of suffering. Please support this channel and share it if you found this video helpful. Thank you. Hope it helps.